Live from beautiful Denver, Colorado, it's time for more Simulation Football League preseason action from Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. It's the Canton Classics who are traveling west to take on the Denver Nightwings. Hello and a very warm welcome. Happy to have your company. My name is Michael Turillo. Cameron Irvine, the commissioner, is alongside me. We've also got Andrew Gibson and Joshua Thunderbird Durr on stats with us today. Cam, the league was rocked by a really big announcement from Canton the other day. They've signed six-time Pro Bowl selection, University of Georgia Hall of Fame inductee, and he's now the head coach of the Canton Classics. I've lost my notes.
Ray Donaldson.
Ray Donaldson, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, Canton continues to push the envelope on innovation and involvement of the football community, tied to the Hall of Fame through their logo and through everything they're doing in Canton. It's going to be special. It's going to be a special season for Canton, I think, looking to take the next step, as is Denver.
Meanwhile, Denver is the youngest team in the league, with nearly half of their team making their unofficial SFL debuts right now. They will have some veteran presence, defensive end Hugo Reynosa, Gene Struthers and Bailey O'Shaughnessy and others, but it will be Denver to receive the ball, Canton to receive the ball first. Navy helmets, white jerseys, gold pants, gold numbers for them, as to the 40 on a nice return, and they will start at the 38 officially. Here's the offense for Canton. Scar Patterson at quarterback. Robert Johnson and Kane Hunter will trade at running back. Toriano Rivera in there at fullback. Al Dillapre Sr., Mike Twinscrew, Ryan Owens, Bob Lung, and Andrew Gibson are at wide receiver. Jack Wall is the tight end.
Joshua Durr on that return, very nice, out to nearly the 40.
In this beautiful, brand new Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium, all the Nightwings branding in there. Both teams in custom-made jerseys for the very first time. Offset eye, Al Dillapre Sr. goes in motion left to right on first down. Under center is Scar Patterson. A flag flies. The ball is bouncing around and incomplete. I think we will see pass interference, which fans of the Simulation Football League are learning to come to grips with, Cam.
Yeah, we've seen varying degrees across the preseason games. This is game number 9 of the weekend. Let's take a look at this coverage here. But, yeah, definitely impeded the receiver's progress. That was intended for Dillapre Sr. But yeah, definitely varying degrees of coverage across the league. And it's something that teams are going to have to get accustomed to, having play action called a little bit more frequently, like in that other 3-letter league we don't discuss here.
15 yards and a first down up to the 45, already approaching midfield on the second play from scrimmage. A handoff for the first time in the game. That'll go to Robert Johnson. The stop is made in the middle. Here the defense for Denver. Robert Brady and Hugo Reynosa, the defensive ends. Gerald Cumbus and Brenda Puff, the defensive tackles. Linebackers, Luis Quintana, Stephon Forge, and Dusty Killebrew. Corners, Kippa Jones, Nick Kindler, Rosca Santagria, and Luke Schreiner. Pitch out to Johnson again. Doesn't get anywhere. Brings up third down and 7. Safeties, Lucas DeVore and Strike Vader. And a lot of those names will be brand new to fans of the SFL if you don't follow the minor league, of course.
Queen City just got a delay of game in the other game. How about that?
I'll tell you what, Cam, we've been working on this mod for about 11 months. I don't think I've ever seen that. As a fumble, strip sack on Patterson, and diving on the ball is Robert Brady. Denver takes over inside Canton territory. What a start for the Wings.
Well, how about that? Now, Canton may challenge that, but first glance, Scar, yeah, I think that looked like an empty hand, Mike. I think that's going to stand. What do you think? Here we go. I knew we were going to get a challenge.
I think it might stand, but we have seen close calls be overturned and stand in the first 9 games of this preseason.
That was Kippa Jones on a cornerback blitz. Let's take a look here.
We have already seen it from one angle. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's open hand and it's going to stand. But a great awareness by Robert Brady, the defensive end, to just dive on that football.
Wow.
And
that's
Canton
surprising.
is going to keep the ball.
That's a tough one, Mike. Man, it sure looked like empty hand to me, but either way, Canton's going to have to punt the football away as it was third down. Takes a turnover off the board, but ended up being a pretty good challenge there for the Classics.
Well, it takes it from good field position for Denver to potentially poor field position. This is Charles Brown, the punter for Canton, gets this one away. It's a booming punt, fielded at the 12-yard line by Alex Jackson, and he brings it up to the 19-yard line. Here's the Denver offense. Gene Struthers is in at quarterback. Jeremy Mosley, Alex Jackson, Logan Keel, and Dylan Lewis, the wide receivers. Chris Alter and Keith Wheeler, the tight ends. In the backfield, it's the Barber, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and R.E. Mills, continuing their backfield partnership from last year.
Queen City scored a touchdown on their opening drive in the Queen City Sioux Falls game. That's 7-0 in the first.
Denver white helmets, all blue everything else with the black and white stripes. They'll start offset eye. Hand off up the middle. Great block by Mills to give O'Shaughnessy a little bit of a lane to pick up 4.
Gene Struthers, a bunch of passing yards last season, Torillo, but Denver struggled to find the end zone. We'll see with some new weapons and a new outlook on life if the Nightwings can find the end zone a little bit more here today.
Funnily enough, Scar Patterson and Gene Struthers were separated by less than 100 total passing yards last year. O'Shaughnessy bounces it outside to the left, and the tackle is made by Evan Lacey. Let me quickly get you to the Canton defense. Chris Porter, Mike All, Jabril Curse, and LL Volt on the defensive line. Linebackers Dimitri Monzuma, Mark Gronick, Ace Singletary, and Kevin Brackett. Corners Evan Lacey, Connor Darien, and Frank Burstein. Safeties Joshua Durr, Kanye Rockefeller, and King Jamal on third down. Struthers rolls out of the pocket and finds Jeremy Mosley down the field past the 50 for a huge gain.
Nice dot from Struthers getting Mosley involved. We get another look at it. I mean, great awareness to escape the pressure. He put that on the money.
We've seen a lot of passes over the middle be successful, both into coverage and when the receiver is relatively open, as was the case there. Looked like the two safeties were just playing well back, giving the Denver receivers the middle of the field. Struthers under center, sends Logan Keel in motion. Struthers against the 4-man rush, going to throw down the middle again, and it's right into the breadbasket of Alex Jackson for another first down.
You know, that 17 Torillo is making me think of now Carolina Skyhawk wide receiver Riley Quintero. Going to take me a second to get used to, but Alex Jackson has stepped into that number terrifically. He's looked great so far on their opening drive.
Telling me, I've almost said Quintero's name twice now, and now I'm going to do it because I'm thinking about it.
Sorry.
We like to keep it light here in the preseason of the broadcast booth. Offset eye again. Both teams running custom playbooks today that meet the Season 21 playbook rules. A lot of pre-snap motion, a lot of chess being played before the ball is even in play. Struthers again, a third straight strike down the field, and Denver has moved from their own 30 to the opposing 10 in 4 plays.
Gene Struthers looks good. 67 yards. And, you know, the good news for Denver is that this passing attack really looks sharp. The good news for Canton is their run defenses look strong. Bailey O'Shaughnessy is yet to get moving, but it's been all Gene Struthers on this opening drive.
Just 2 carries for O'Shaughnessy, everything else through the air. First time we've seen a straight I formation out of Denver. They'll throw it again. Struthers looking short. That ball is tipped and incomplete. I believe Mark Gronick got a hand on that. And it's 2nd down and goal. Surprised we haven't seen a little bit more Bailey O'Shaughnessy, especially down here in the red zone.
Yeah, maybe we will on 2nd down make it a little bit more manageable.
Flip backs has often been a passing formation. It will be again, but this time it's a screen to O'Shaughnessy. Stays in bounds, bounces off a tackler, gets a block, stays on his feet, and scores a touchdown. Oh, my Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
The patience from Bailey was terrific. You'll see here he waits on his blockers and was able to squeeze through, almost sort of camouflaged himself here. Stays in bounds. That's nice. Jeremy Mosley's the guy that makes the play. Blocks Joshua Durr clear out of the picture. And terrific. How about Jeremy Mosley on this drive? Looking like preseason MVP. He was outstanding. Denver's got to feel real good about that start.
A touchdown to the good after just 4 minutes. They don't get the turnover, but the offense looks very efficient. And it's time to see what Canton's got going back the other way. Didn't see a lot from them on their first drive.
Jason Williams for Sioux Falls gets into the end zone in that one. 4:15 to go in the first. They are knotted at 7. Both teams score a touchdown on their opening possession.
I think that's the first time this week we've seen them.
I think so, yeah.
Now, if both of these games are close coming down the stretch, are you going to go all Kevin Harlan and call 2 games at once?
You should. You're the play-by-play. Get on it.
I don't have access to the other stream. Good
excuses. I would if I wasn't dealing with that cough.
Joshua Durr up to 66 return yards on 2 returns. Haven't seen one go back to the house so far this week, but we've seen it a fair bit in testing, so we know it can happen.
David Gears got close, and so far Joshua Durr stealing Kanye Rockefeller's return attempts. That's the beauty of having 2 returners back there.
Keeps us on our toes as well. Never know who's going to grab the ball. Patterson under center for Canton's 2nd offensive possession. Denver brings the house, and Canton makes them pay. Big Jack Wall straight down the gut.
Jack Wall, I mean, it doesn't get simpler than that. Runs past Lucas DeVore as safety. Can't let that happen too often, but Jack Wall, a menace at tight end.
Those were not actually Scar Patterson's last season numbers, but funnily enough, they were close. 3,356 yards, 28 touchdowns, as many interceptions. I did mention that Patterson and Struthers less than 100 yards passing between them, but 28 touchdowns for Patterson, only 13 for Gene Struthers last year in a down season for the Denver Night Wings. They have retooled with a pretty great draft and are ready to go here in season 21. Pitch out. Johnson has room to run. Bowls over a defender and keeps going down the sideline. Is there anybody that's going to catch number 33? There's only one man that can do it, and the answer is not at all. Touchdown, Canton. They respond immediately.
Nobody was on that side of the field. Just one man to beat, and Robert Johnson does it. Gets some love from his teammates. Jack Wall and Al Dillapre out there celebrating with him. What happened here? Good blocking down the field, actually. Great. Bob Lung secured the edge. And, yeah, just nobody over there, Torillo, to save the score. Robert Johnson gets Canton on the board, and both games have great offense going on in the first quarter.
Mike Vader, welcome to the SFL. He was the defender that Robert Johnson ran over. That is a excellent example of why you have to stack the weak side, because if one guy gets beat, with the running backs getting paid as much as they are in this league, Robert Johnson not among the top earning running backs, but still over 1.5 million. Nothing to shake a stick out there. If he gets some open space, he can be gone. And we saw it in the first game of preseason with BDG Hollywood. All he needed to do was turn the corner, and he had a great run there en route to a 4-touchdown day.
We haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, Cirillo, but Denver might have the best helmets in the league. Have you seen that little Denver?
In the stripe.
In the stripe,
and then mirrors the pants side.
And then the skyline is actually at the bottom on either side. The skyline of Denver in silver, very subtle, but yeah, gorgeous.
It's hard to see it. It actually took me going into a replay when the mod texture pack came out, as O'Shaughnessy is run down for a loss of 2. I believe that was LL Volt on the tackle. But I saw something that was a little off color about the helmets, and I went, well, I wonder what that is. I went into replay mode and zoomed in on it and saw the skyline of Denver on the bottom of the helmet. That, A, takes some real creativity, and B, some real talent with Photoshop or whatever editing software they use to get that done, because it's very precise. Struthers going to take off and run, and he's got a hole. He's going to pick up 8 yards there instead of a 3rd and 4.
He doesn't have type attack speed after he had almost 60 rushing yards in their opening loss to Jacksonville, but Struthers doing a nice job getting outside the pocket. On that play before the 2-yard loss, great job by Canton's defensive front to get that push. I think that was Jabril Curse.
Struthers going to go deep again and finds a receiver. First tight end completion for Denver. Keith Wheeler makes the grab.
That's true. I was thinking, well, what about Mosley? But Mosley now moved outside in this new look offense, and Keith Wheeler, one of those newcomers for the Denver Nightwings, making things happen. Boy, Gene Struthers, Cirillo, has been really impressive in this first quarter.
It's been go route city for the Nightwings passing attack. Of course, Bailey O'Shaughnessy got the touchdown, but all the passing is what got them down into the red zone. O'Shaughnessy smothered by Mark Gronick.
By the way, huge shout out to everybody joining us today in the middle of the afternoon. Nobody really should ever have to work. That's what I think.
Love what you do and you never work a day in your life. Is that what you mean?
Basically.
O'Shaughnessy on a weak side pitch. This time he won't get the amount of luck and power that Robert Johnson did on his touchdown run, but he will pick up a couple. Second straight 3rd down and 4 at this drive, right at the midfield stripe.
Huge shout outs to both of these teams. It's really nice seeing them on the field today because they've made a lot of progress on and off the field. Can't wait to see what their seasons hold.
Denver, Struthers moves away from the pocket. Pressure breaks down. He's hit as he throws, and the duck pass is intercepted. Joshua Durr with the takeaway, and Canton has a chance to take the lead.
Great heads-up play by Joshua Durr. Struthers gets popped, and the ball totally off target just floats away. That was Mike All on the pressure of Struthers, and unfortunately for Gene, that wrecks his brilliant first quarter. You can't really fault him, though, trying to make a play.
Canton now setting up just inside of Nightwing territory at the 48. Single back set. Haven't really seen Scarp Patterson air it out yet. Maybe once down the middle of Jack Wall. They hand it off inside. Look out. Stephon Forge introduces himself to Robert Johnson for a loss of 1.
End of the first 7-7, Queen City and Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls just pinned Queen City at the 6 on a nice punt. Nobody dove into the end zone.
Yeah, there are a lot of those. We haven't really seen many touchbacks on punts. Johnson trying to make himself skinny, only gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Second straight tackle by Forge. I have noticed, you bring up the punting, that teams now are more likely to take pinning them at the 15 or 12 rather than trying to force one and get them pinned inside the 5.
Yep. Don't want to put them out on the 20.
4 wide on 3rd and 10. This one's going to be on the arm of Patterson in the hands of his receivers. He moves in the pocket. He airmails that to nobody in particular, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Patterson just a little foot happy in the pocket. He is not good under pressure. He does not necessarily do well outside the pocket or with any pressure at his feet. So that's something that may be a top priority for Canton as they further develop him in this offense.
Pocket passer of the highest quality. Here is Brown again. That ball's going to bounce at the 10. It's going to take a beautiful bounce and stop at the 1-yard line. How do you like that?
That's the best punt of the preseason. That was an incredible bounce. Talk about a coffin corner. And, wow, that changes everything for Denver.
We were just talking about the punts and how they didn't try and force it, but Charles Brown potentially sets Canton up with safety potential here. Run to O'Shaughnessy on a stretch play. He breaks the tackle. He's still in the end zone. Finally gets out of it.
Oh my gosh.
Tackle gets down the sideline. Does he have the speed to get away from the final man? That would have been a 99-yard touchdown run. The last man back there made the tackle and saved the touchdown.
Wow. Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Talk about a near-death experience. That was crazy. That's called turning something into nothing. And the Denver Nightwings make a huge play to get out of a hole. Wrapped up by Kevin Brackett at the end of the play. Former member of the Vancouver Legion.
32-yard run, and he was almost tackled in his own end zone for a safety 2 seconds into it. How often do you say that? A minute left of the first quarter. Gene Struthers trying to lead a march down the field. I think that's the first incomplete pass from Struthers outside the interception, as it was a little bit behind Logan Keel.
Yeah, unfortunately for Logan Keel, I'm going to have to give him a drop on that one because if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it no matter how inaccurate the pass is. But, you know, that's football. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. That's what it looked like on that play.
As you said before, that's sports, isn't it? Struthers immediately under pressure has to get the ball out there quickly, and a back shoulder throw of the highest quality is hauled in by Jeremy Mosley.
Jeremy Mosley, man, there's just something different about this cat today. Canton trying to get to him, but totally unfazed by the incoming pressure. He knew he was going to take a hit on that from Ace Singletary, and he did not care. Mosley has been the player of the game so far. There's Struthers' updated numbers.
And how about Gene Struthers, with the blitz coming from Canton, was able to put that ball back shoulder away from the defender where only his guy could go get it. Handoff, O'Shaughnessy up the middle. One tackle shrugged off at an 8-yard gain. Chris Porter from behind him made the tackle.
I like that little play. It was almost, I thought they were going to go outside, but then it ended up being like kind of a trap inside. It was a nice run from Bailey and the Nightwings.
And there are lots of mind games to be played playbook-wise with the coaching staff, whether you have a strong interior defense or your corners are strong against the run, and whether you want to run inside or outside in your playbook. And because you can make those changes every week, you can kind of tailor your offense to the defense you're going to be playing. Well, that time, Bailey O'Shaughnessy got close, but no cigar to the first down marker. Chris Porter makes his second straight tackle. And that will bring us to the end of a fast-moving first quarter. We've had it all. Big plays on both sides, a turnover, a fantastic coffin corner punt, and at the end of it, it's 7-7 here in Denver between the Nightwings and the Canton Classics. Michael Tervillo, Commissioner Cameron Irvine in the booth, Joshua Durr and Andrew Gibson alongside for stats today. On this Monday afternoon, Monday late morning if you're in Denver. This game kicked off at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m., local time. Struthers handoff to O'Shaughnessy. He'll pick up the first down easily and get out to the 38.
I know O'Shaughnessy broke that tackle that was nearly a safety, but other than that, Canton's run defense, Canton's tackling is one of the best I've seen so far in the preseason. That defense looks locked and loaded.
9 carries, 50 yards, but of course 38 of those on that one play. Take that away, and O'Shaughnessy's kind of had a very average first half. Struthers throws on the move, complete to Mosley in the flat.
I say it all the time, Torillo. Some things in the preseason you can take away as, something serious. Other things, hey, it's just the preseason, you never know what's going on. But I can take away that Gene Struthers looks very comfortable out there. He's made some really difficult, high-quality throws.
O'Shaughnessy has blockers in front of him, and one man takes out 3 defenders and allows the Barber to scamper down the field and get out at the 26-yard line.
Ouch. Let's get another look at that.
I didn't quite catch who it was right there.
Wow, yeah, the
Keith Wheeler.
Keith Wheeler and the blocking just pursued at a poor angle. Yeah, tough break there for Canton because they had it all wrapped up, but Wheeler's such a big body. Look at that, 46 yards after contact from Bailey. That's Canton's defense has been there. Bailey's doing the rest.
Keith Wheeler, 6'4", 225. O'Shaughnessy, that time not much love up the middle, gets 3. And I wanted to get your take on the whole injury situation because we've seen a lot of injuries in this preseason, more so than I think we were anticipating, both as a league and as the individual players. Struthers, pressure from the backside, escapes out the front door and almost picks up a first down. That's the second time we've seen number 10 scramble. Nice
job from Gene, and Trellis Blanton almost had a scramble touchdown in the Queen City game, got stopped at the 1. But back to the injuries, teams that invested in the health of their players, the strength and conditioning of their players, have seen, on average, better or less injuries than the teams that haven't. So everything's playing out true to form.
O'Shaughnessy again pushing towards the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for Denver as they look to take the lead here early in the second quarter. And that's a lot of times where doubling and tripling up at positions will come in handy. We saw, I believe it was the Indianapolis quarterback go down. They didn't have a second quarterback contracted on their roster, and that game against Louisiana kind of got out of hand from there.
This drive started on the 2. Queen City just had a 95-yard touchdown drive.
Into the end zone, tipped away. Nice awareness by Evan Lacey to knock that one down. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Lacey a little bit out of position, wasn't able to get the interception, but stuck a paw up there, and that's all he needed to stop the touchdown. I'd like to see some O'Shaughnessy here, although Struthers proved us wrong the last drive.
It is I formation. It's going to be a handoff to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Mike All says you are going nowhere as he wraps him up from behind.
Mike All's had a nice first half for Canton, causing some pressure. A lot of adjustments to box scores. Torillo, we've talked about this a lot. Defensive lines may not stuff a stat sheet, but it's all the little details that you see in the trenches.
Struthers to throw again to the corner of the end zone, and Lacey is there again with great coverage and is going to force a field goal.
With those bulldog gloves. Love to see that out of Evan Lacey. And that time could have had an interception just off the hands. Struthers catches a break there, and they'll have to settle for 3.
So I've been not shy about the fact that I have simmed a lot of games since the official mod drop on Sunday.
How many?
Over 30.
8? Oh.
Over 30 games. I've seen every team a couple of times, and the things that have impressed me most are the the gloves, the shoes, the sleeves that teams have made custom. Yeah, 15 plays, 94 yards. Ridiculous. But the things that may go unnoticed by a lot of people, you know, putting custom apparel on the fans and things like that. And that's what really stands out to me.
Yeah, and there's a lot of teams around the league that haven't gotten to all that, and the league will clean that up, you know, before we hit convention and everything. The wonderful thing, Torillo, is that, you know, we're always a work in progress, but we can always make improvements and adjustments to things. You see some Denver players wearing some Canton shoes today. There's a lot of you know, there's thousands and thousands of textures that we're all still you know, learning and understanding in this football game as we get another look at Joshua Durr on the return. But it's just a beautiful thing to know that we aren't saying very much anymore. There's nothing we can do, right? That has gone down to a minimum, and just seeing Canton and Denver out there with their branding is just beautiful.
The least amount of yards that Durr's gotten on a return so far today at the 26-yard line. Robert Johnson. Wow. Usually you see him break those tackles, but excellent job by Lucas DeVore to stand his ground.
Yeah, great tackle. I mean, Johnson almost took him with him. But, yeah, Lucas DeVore, who got burned by Jack Wall a little earlier in the game, makes a great play there.
Offset eye, strong side, left handoff. This is the first time we are seeing Kane Hunter. And he gets 3 yards.
It's always good to mix it up, you know, keep people fresh. Jacksonville did the best job of that in their 37-30 win over Seattle. Sean Sanders, Shepard Vicarian, nearly even on the statistics.
Off the hands of his intended receiver. I think that was Mike Twinscrew out there in double coverage, and another 3-and-out forced by Denver. So outside of that one interception that led to the touchdown run by Robert Johnson, Canton really hasn't had that much offense to speak of in this game. Low snap to Brown, who has arguably been the best player with his excellent punting, forces a fair catch out of Alex Jackson at the 34.
2-minute warning in Queen City, 14-7 Corsairs, but the Sparrows are driving. That's been a really good game over in Buffalo at the new Conpro field. Looking pretty sharp.
It's just the first of 6 SFL preseason games today. After this 1 p.m. block, we've got our standard 7:30 and 10 p.m. blocks later tonight. O'Shaughnessy caught up behind his offensive guard, and that's a big credit to the defensive line.
Yeah, Mike All, again, getting that push up front and forcing Bailey O'Shaughnessy into the backfield to try and redevelop something else on the play. Again, it's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but Canton's defensive front has really disrupted Denver a handful of times today.
2nd and 13. The Nightwings have not really been behind the sticks all that much in this contest. Let's see what they've got for us here. Gene Struthers, we know he can sling the rock. He's got plenty of time in the pocket, but eventually just takes a check down and forces another 3rd and long.
That was an interesting play there from Denver. They had 3 receivers kind of in the same area looking for the football, and it overwhelmed Canton's coverage, and Struthers could have hit whoever he wanted to. Mosley continues his success.
3rd and 9. Play action. Struthers looking for somebody deep. He's going to go down the middle, and it's caught. Alex Jackson again right at the midfield stripe.
Alex Jackson and Jeremy Mosley, they have just been terrific today. There's an updated look at Struthers' numbers. But yeah, they are catching everything thrown to them. Alex Marshall with a one-handed pick at the goal line. Welcome to Queen City in the other game. What a great play.
He's been excited to get into the majors after spending a couple seasons with the Albuquerque Adams. Handoff, O'Shaughnessy up the middle for 3. I remember one of the first things I saw after we announced that we were switching to this game back in December is he downloaded the game, downloaded the NFL texture pack, and immediately made the Albuquerque Adams as a custom team.
Yeah, he's been fired up, and Queen City got them one of the best players in the draft as the Corsairs rebuild.
Another inside handoff that looked like a trap play. Nowhere to go for Bailey.
Dare I say it, Torillo, Canton's defensive line has been the best run defense I have seen in the preseason. They are a pain. Denver is really struggling to get that push up front.
I would put Atlanta's up there with how they completely stuffed Houston offensively in their game.
Good point.
But yes, Canton's run defense has looked very impressive. Struthers, time to throw, does throw, complete again to Mosley inside the 30.
Jeremy Mosley.
Would you say that moving him from tight end to wide receiver was a good move?
Yeah, and I mean this was not I don't think Gene Struthers' first read. Jeremy Mosley coming all the way across the formation. And the offensive line with some good pass blocking gave Gene the time to find Jeremy, who continues to excel.
Ray dizzy, so do we, and that's one of the main reasons why we do this. Struthers, quick pass over the middle off the hands of the intended receiver, Chris Alter. First time we've seen him targeted, and it's incomplete.
Beautiful day here in Denver. It's nice to not be in the 90s or 100s or real feel or humidity or whatever around across the country. So
70 degrees in Denver, where I am broadcasting from. It is 92, real feel 110. Struthers tried to take the check down to O'Shaughnessy, who was not ready for it, and it's incomplete, 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, miscommunication. Bailey being a little bit too selfless right in the beginning, or towards the end of the play, saying, "Hey, you guys need any help over here?" and left his post and left Struthers hanging. Now it's 3rd and long.
Jeremy in the chat says, "We want snow." We'll get there. It's still summer. Hey, I know, another play action. Struthers, all kinds of time to sit there and throw to the end zone. It's deflected and incomplete. Evan Lacey, a 3rd touchdown saving deflection in this first half.
Heads-up play, I didn't catch the number of the defender, but heads-up play after the ball was tipped to tackle the intended receiver. Otherwise, that could have been a catch because it looked like it was headed right for him. That saved 4 points at least.
This will be a 42-yard attempt for Hudson James. Snap is good. Hold likewise. Kick as well. 13-7 Denver. So after an even start, it's been 2 field goals for the Nightwings here in this second quarter. Other games coming up today at 7 o'clock. We've got Charleston at Minnesota. Jack Brown and Marcel Colston have commentary for you for that one. And then it's the return of Mr. Throw It to the tight end himself, Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith in the broadcast booth for San Diego at Alamo City. Then in the 10 p.m. block, Chris Curtis and yourself, Cameron Irvine, will be on the call from Motor City and Portland. Really excited to see the introduction of that Motor City offense and see what they can make of their offensive makeup. And then we'll end the preseason tonight at 10:15 Eastern with Tyler Falk and Cameron Duty's call of Florida and Mexico City, 2 teams that we think have the potential to be on top in this new era because of the acumen of their coaching staffs.
It's going to be wild, Torillo. Baltimore lost last night, although it was a very good game, 28-21 to Fort Worth. That was a fun one. Almost every game has been close and exciting. Things got away from Indy last night, but an injury bug hit them hard. The pick 6 lost a lot of momentum.
Robert Johnson down the sideline, steps out of the 45. That's been Canton's one big play. They scored a touchdown on this exact same counter run back in the first quarter. Got a big chunk of yardage on it there.
Put Dusty Kilbrew in the dust. It's a war of attrition out there, Torillo. It's a 4-quarter game. Teams have to stay with these backs. They're going to break out 2, 3, 4 a game, but you just try and manage the rest.
Ryan Owens in motion for Canton. Into the slot on the far side. They'll pitch it to the strong side left. Johnson breaks an ankle tackle. Can't get away from the second one. That's Stephon Forge again. He's been pretty instrumental in stopping the Canton run so far up the middle.
Mike St. Green in the chat talking about Logan Jack running for 250 against Atlanta yesterday, but only 10 in the second half as they shook off that they shook off playing the day before, Torillo. They had a lot of football to play.
Only things you can see in the SFL.
Including Julian Tyree in the other game, who just scrambled, tried to slide, coughed the ball up, but Sioux Falls recovered.
Handoff to Johnson. Nice push by the O-line. He can't get the first down, though. He's a half yard short as Dusty Killebrew makes good on the missed tackle from last play. Now 3rd down and in less than 1. Ray Dizzy, the season opener is not this weekend, but the next weekend, live at the convention from Cincinnati, Ohio. Fullback handoff this time. And it's a 1st down for Toriano Rivera, first carry for him of the game. All the offensive domination, quote unquote, that Denver has had in this first half. Canton is just a touchdown away from taking the lead before the halftime break. We get our first timeout called.
Canton won the challenge earlier, so they have 2 timeouts at the Denver 39. No need to panic. They've got some time.
Gar Patterson has not really done a lot down the field like Gene Struthers has the one big completion to Jack Wall, who is in motion on this play, will line up on the left side of the offensive line. Patterson under center against the 4-man rush into the flat and did not connect with his receiver that time, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, tried to force that one. You know, it's tough for Scar. He's spent his entire career in San Diego, had a lot of good rapport for a lot of guys. He's in new territory now with a new team, all new weapons in Canton. It may take some time. This will be a big 3rd down here.
Empty set. First time we've seen that from either team today. Canton sniffing the edge of field goal range, and they're in it now. Nice catch, Ryan Owens down inside the 20. Timeout, Canton.
They got 1 left. Ryan Owens, a nice pickup. Connor Weston had a good game with Jacksonville earlier this preseason, and his brother putting in some work in the late stages of this first half for the Classics, now in the red zone. 1 timeout to spare.
Can they take the lead before the break? It would be pretty improbable with how this game has gone in terms of momentum. Patterson, quick pass, one-on-one coverage and low at the feet of Mike Twinscrew and incomplete.
I like what Patterson was trying to do there, was trying to get it in a place where the defender would be unable to get a hand on it, but the problem was that Twinscrew couldn't get a hand on it either.
2nd and 10, down under a minute to go now, 59 seconds of the first half. We have seen Jack Wall go from right to left on every play in this formation. No linebackers come on the blitz. It's going to be a pitch out screen to Johnson.
Nice.
Just gets out of bounds after a gain of 6. Stop the clock.
Saves the timeout. which can be precious depending upon if you take a sack or you're tackled in the field of play. Really nice job there by Johnson. They can pick up the first here.
Expect Canton maybe to take a shot at the end zone here. Patterson will do just that. It's just over the fingertips of Dillapre Sr. And it forces fourth down, and Denver will get off the field with a half stop and will likely hold the lead into halftime.
And I was hoping we were going to get another look at that from our replay system. That was, look, maybe, what did you think, Torillo? Maybe a little high?
It was a little high.
Yeah, just a bit outside. Ooh.
13-10. This second quarter has been all about the field goal. We've seen 3 of them so far in this second frame.
If that would have been from 45, Jerome, I think you would have missed that. The wind was kicking it.
48 seconds on the kickoff. Going to be fielded at the 2 by Jackson. And he's not going to get very far, just to the 31. And this may spur Denver to run the ball a couple times and head to the break.
By the way, do you know why I call you Torillo instead of Mike?
Because there are so many Mikes in this league.
You got it, man. You're a smart guy.
I've been called Torillo my entire life because there are Michaels everywhere.
Torillo's a sweet last name.
Only if you pronounce it correctly, though. Pitch to O'Shaughnessy. Gets away from one, can't get away from the second. No timeout forthcoming for Denver, and they will just take this one to the half.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to the locker room, Torillo.
Bo Martin Jr. poses an interesting question. What are we going to call a new referee since R62 is gone? R11 or U11. That's the new referee now. Get used to it.
We can put Martin Jr.'s name on the back.
We could. Pass outside to O'Shaughnessy. He does get out of bounds with 14 seconds left. We'll have at least one more play. I mean, technically, we could put R62 on the back of the referee's jerseys if we wanted to. That's just a texture that we can edit.
I heard he's entered retirement.
As well he should be. 20 seasons of service for R62.
No retirement plan, though, just a severance package.
Mosley in motion and an aggressive Twins look here on 3rd and 6. Play action for the 3rd time. Struthers going to go down the sidelines. Picked off at midfield. Running back the other way is Connor Darien. He gets out of bounds with 6 seconds to go.
And into field goal range. So Canton has a chance to tie the game now on a late second quarter interception. Struthers just trying to do too much. The pass got there late. Mosley got twisted around. Connor Darien, what a play for Canton. And, man, a huge turn of events just at the end of the half.
A great heads-up play by Mark Gronick to stick that block to allow Darien to get out of bounds. Field goal to potentially tie the game is good with 2 seconds left, and Canton takes advantage.
Rob Ems. What a boot. Did it ding the net? I think it did get the net.
Well, it's good either way. Last season, Rob Ems, 20 of 22 in the regular season on field goal attempts. And this will be the end of the first half as the 2 seconds will tick off the clock on the Jackson return. Nothing exciting forthcoming, and we head to the break tied at 13-all. Denver trying to put Canton to the sword late in the half, but it doesn't work out in their favor. A late interception gives the tie to Canton. you're not familiar with the new halftime package, you're about to see it now. Very similar, lots of stats, photographs of the first half, but we do get a player of the half, which is new comparative to what we've had in the past.
Can't wait to get a sponsor up here, but yeah, Patterson struggled in the first half. Without that one Robert Johnson run, this Canton offense, really would be hurting. But their defense was the star of the show, very similar to season 20, and that has not only kept them in it, but tied the game for them.
7 to 9 yards for O'Shaughnessy. Just over 50% completion from Gene Struthers, but he has had a couple of long passes complete. And the halftime player is Bailey O'Shaughnessy, 17 carries, 79 yards. We are as we were at the start of the game, 2 quarters down, 2 quarters to go.
I would have given it to Mosley Torillo, but what do I know?
Welcome back to Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium in Denver, Colorado. I'm in awe every time the camera pans back to show what the league and team have done with this place. Denver gets the ball to start the second half. Are some of the old teams still this new league? AJ, we have kept every team save one, and that one team is going to be coming back with new branding in next season. 27 teams in the league this year.
Jason Williams scores for Sioux Falls, 21-14. Queen City leads with 4 minutes to go in the third.
Right here we got a 13 to 13 ball game. Empty set on first down for Gene Struthers. He's going to air it out and try and catch the Canton offense napping, and he does just that. Logan Keel with the grab, close to midfield already after one play.
Redemption for Logan Keel. He had that drop in the first half. This pass was a little off target again, but Keel makes a much better adjustment to the football. 25-yard completion.
Gene Struthers today has really showed off the arm strength. The majority of his 12 completions have been down the field. Not a lot of checkdowns, not a lot of slants or out routes, a lot of goes. Bailey O'Shaughnessy goes. He stutter steps to get an 8-yard carry. That's one of his better ones of the day.
This game in particular, Mike, feels like a chess match. Both of these teams formulating their strengths and weaknesses in this matchup. It's just so, I don't know. I'm a football junkie, and this is a really, really nice football game.
It really is. Pitch, O'Shaughnessy, great seal block on the outside. Allows him to get a first down.
That's what's up. Who was that on the outside? That was R.E. Mills. Terrific.
Fullback getting some love.
Yeah, he was asking for some carries earlier, but yeah, that was one of the best blocks of the day. But that has been a strength of Denver on the outside. Mills, Mosley, Wheeler, they've all at some point in this game had a terrific block.
It's going to be O'Shaughnessy again, able to bounce it outside. Does he have the speed to get by Jones? He does, turns the corner at the 20, finally hauled down from behind by King Jamal near the 15-yard line. Bailey O'Shaughnessy says, "You say I'm not running very well, huh? Watch this."
And now Logan Keel gets involved. Look at that. Boom, takes this man down. He wants to get involved in the blocking conversation. Just another terrific job on the outside, makes all the difference in the world. Denver may not be the most talented team in the league, but they do have one thing working for them, and that is their run blocking.
121 on the ground for Bailey. And has the lone Denver touchdown. He's looking for another one. A great push by the offensive line. Their O-line in past seasons has been nicknamed the pancake line, and they've showed why right there.
What a response from Denver after the way the first half ended. They could have come out here sulking, but they've dusted themselves off despite back-to-back Canton field goals there in the final minute. They've put together a really nice drive to start the second half.
Keel across the formation. Doesn't haul anybody with him. Now one defender goes out there. That's Evan Lacey in one-on-one coverage. Counter run.
Dang.
O'Shaughnessy makes a cut and into the beautiful Nightwings end zone where they've honored some of their former players. And every time a Nightwings player touches that, they're going to get 6 more points.
The blocking was just disgusting. Look at this. I mean, they just took 2 players out on the right side of the line, and Bailey wasn't even close to being touched. Some would call that a hold. I would call that players falling over. Denver's got a touchdown.
They've got the lead again. Hudson James on for the extra point. Bailey O'Shaughnessy has both Denver touchdowns. It's 20-13. And another long drive for Denver. They had a field goal drive of 94 yards. That one's 74 yards.
Look at the shadows.
I haven't seen the
across
blimp
the
yet
sky.
today. I know it's up there somewhere.
It made an appearance in Buffalo, actually, for the first time this preseason, so that was fun.
Thank you, Axel Raven, for the
It's
the
great,
blimp
Axel.
textures. Man, you can tell who has the designers on their teams. Because we got
These two got some good ones.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just thinking about like the one you can tell like Destro, he loves the crazy designs on the pants with Arizona and Atlanta. And then I don't know what obsession Axel Raven has with flannel. But we're going to be seeing
I
the
love
Minnesota
those
legend
things.
in some flannel uniforms. Robert Johnson gets a nice block ahead of him by his fullback Toriano Rivera, picks up 8 yards. But yeah, the flannel uniforms have been kind of hit or miss in the community. I love them. I love when people can be completely creative and have creative freedom like that.
And then on the other side, you've got Canton, with the timeless classic look. You got the diamonds down the helmet. I mean, you're not going to see Canton wearing flannel or having giant logos on their pants, but they're still going to look clean too.
Johnson spins and gets a first down past the 42. And some teams have taken to that traditional look. You mentioned Canton. You're going to see Motor City tonight. They've gone so traditional, they don't even have logos on the helmets. Although they did put a nice alternate in the team construction channel this morning. Patterson, back shoulder, beautiful to Al Dillapre Sr. for a first down.
Patterson, who was 3 for 9 in the first half, trying to get things going, and that was actually, I think, his best pass of the day to Al Dillapre. Degree of difficulty was pretty high. Patterson gets it going. So 4 for 10 now for Scar. Not used to being so low in the stat sheet this late into the game, but his team's only down 7, and he hasn't really made any terrible mistakes on this day, so that's a plus.
No turnovers for Canton. That's a nice little curl route complete, but Ryan Owens can't really get going in the right direction. He will get 7 yards on forward progress, however.
Shout out to Sioux Falls' A.J. Warren, who has 123 receiving yards in 3 quarters. That leads the SFL this preseason.
Putting on a show, 2nd and 3. Expect a run to the bottom side. It is wide open, but Johnson cuts back to the inside. He does fall forward for a first down. But there was some wide open space if he might have been able to bounce that to the left.
Up over 100 now for Robert. He's had a nice day.
Johnson for the 3rd straight time hurdles a defender. Wrapped up by Luis Quintana. Only a gain of 4. And now we're seeing a game kind of like we've seen earlier on in this preseason, where it's just a lot of runs. The Carolina game last night, both teams just committed to running the ball for most of the game. That ending was crazy.
Yeah, I think I saw Carolina was saying, of course we would get a game-winning interception, then we'd fumble it.
Oh, there's the second running back, Kane Hunter. His second carry of the game, picks up another first down for Canton. Yeah, we always joke about nice hands shoving because he can never catch an interception. He caught an interception and then fumbled it. Thankfully, Carolina was able to recover and held on for the win.
I can't wait this regular season to see these dual back systems at work, keeping guys fresh. It's going to be a whole new offense.
Johnson,
wow.
Stretch play, blown up and going the wrong direction.
There you go, rookie. Strike Vader makes the play for the TFL in the backfield. Nicely done.
A little bit of redemption for Vader because he got put in the dirt on the Johnson touchdown run earlier in the ball game. 2nd and 13. Johnson trying to weave his way through traffic back to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more. 3rd and 8, going to be on the arm of Patterson here to try and continue this drive.
Vader again on the tackle, showing up for the Nightwings here late on this drive. This could be Patterson's moment. Hasn't really had that moment, quote unquote, in the game. This 3rd and 8 to try and get Canton 7 instead of 3 would be huge.
Nightwings bring the pressure from the middle. Patterson forced to escape. Now throws. Oh, Dillapre makes a great catch. And it's an extra point away from tying the game.
Wow, Scar right at the end. Found his man. Let's get another look at it. Maybe we'll get it from, yeah, here we go. Little crossing route. Dillapre gets open. Soft throw from Scar. Man, doesn't get any better than that. An extra point away from a tie game. Wow, we got some 2 good ones cooking here.
But you can't say that Denver did a poor job defensively. They brought the blitz. They forced him back. And it was a terrific throw by Patterson off his back foot. Beautifully placed right at face mask level for Al Dillapre to go up and make the grab. 20 apiece as we work towards the end of this 3rd quarter.
Haven't had a lot of punts today, Mike. We've
just 3.
We've had what, 4 scores for each team, and just 3 total punts in this ball game. Some long sustained drives. You know, Struthers has had a couple of mistakes. The one that wasn't his fault where he got hit as he threw. The other one forcing it at the end of the half that cost him 3 points. But other than that, these 2 offenses have been efficient. They've made clutch plays when called upon. Whoever has the ball last.
You mentioned only 3 punts. One of them, though, is one of the highlights of the game. The punt by Charles Brown that downed Denver at the 1-yard line. Of course, they did go on to score points on that drive. O'Shaughnessy bounced it outside, gets a great block. Down the field, one needs to beat one. And it is going to be wrapped up and dropped at midfield by Durr. Just outran R.E. Mills, who was the fullback all the way down the field.
Another breakout for O'Shaughnessy to start a drive. Remember on the first play of the drive when they started at the 2-yard line, he had a breakout run of 30-plus. Does it again, essentially flipping the field for Denver for the second time in this ball game. 7 yards a carry. He's been one of the best backs of this preseason. No surprise.
Put him right up there with BDG Hollywood in the opening game.
He's tired now.
This, however, is the backup running back on the field. Only gets 1 yard. But I want to go back to that long run that we just saw from O'Shaughnessy. If he's a little bit patient and lets R.E. Mills get to Joshua Durr, he might be in the end zone.
Queen City just fumbled the kickoff. Sioux Falls recovers. They're down 4 with the ball.
Here comes the blitz. They got to get the ball away, and O'Shaughnessy is tackled for a loss of 1.
Great defense there by Canton. Did you notice that because of the blitz, I think they were they trying to set up a screen there, but the blockers couldn't.
No, I think it was a standard play that Struthers just had to bail on because they brought the house.
Right. Either way, he had to hit his check down because of the blitz. That pressure caused the 1-yard loss.
3rd and 11. We've seen Struthers make these throws all game long. He's got time in the pocket to do so, and he's going to throw it incomplete. Great job coming across the field by Connor Darien to knock that away. And for only the 2nd time in this ball game, Denver's going to have to punt.
Yeah, good work by Canton all around. They, as you mentioned, Mike, they've struggled on 3rd and long, getting off the field. That time, Connor Darien steps up in a big way. See if Denver can pin the Classics maybe a little bit too far back.
Punt from their own 45-ish, going to be fielded just past the 15. No fair catch and no yards gained. Nice job on punt coverage there by Denver. This will be the deepest starting field position for Canton. I said no yards. I've been watching too much CFL.
And let me tell you, the CFL has had some great games lately. Oh, that is such a fun league.
The Rouge for the win from a couple weeks ago is still maybe my sporting highlight of the summer so far.
Incredible.
Handoff to Johnson, running weak side. This time the Denver defense there for it. And no gain on the play. Of course, got the Women's World Cup started last night. I was not insane enough to get up at 3 a.m. to watch the first game.
That's shocking, Cirillo.
I know. I'm out of character for me. Handoff Johnson straight up the middle. We have not seen a lot of straight up the middle runs from either team. Both O'Shaughnessy and Johnson trying to keep the ball to the outside where they got a little bit more space.
But both running backs are actually averaging a higher yards per carry than what we've seen across the league this preseason. They've put on a show.
Patterson looking to put on a show of his own, and he's got Dillapre wide open to the 42.
Now Canton's offense, which has looked much better in this 3rd quarter, is moving pretty nicely. Patterson now over 100. Like we mentioned earlier, the no turnovers.
Look how far back the safeties are sitting for Denver. I mentioned this once in the first half, I think, on the Jack Wall pass. There's a huge zone between the linebackers and the safeties for those slants and crosses for Canton to just sit there and be easy targets for Scar Patterson. Robert Johnson waiting for his blocks to develop, gets outside and is almost able to break that last tackle. Will pick up about 15 yards on the carry, though.
Stephon Ford saves the play. Sioux Falls has come back. They lead Queen City 24-21. They turn that fumble recovery on the kickoff into a touchdown, so the Corsairs are going to have to get right in the last 6 minutes.
Will Martin Jr. says the SFL is over 7,000 followers on YouTube. Yes, we're on the road to 10,000.
Let's go.
You can help us get there by recommending the league to a friend or two. Johnson, pitch, and it looks like the Denver defense has finally figured out that play.
They're all over that.
Lucas DeVore with the tackle. Denver has gone from spying a safety on the running back to not. It's kind of been formation dependent, it seems like, but whenever DeVore has had that spy, he's come down and made the play. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. And it is as we were at the half, a tie ball game, a touchdown apiece in the 3rd between Canton and Denver. We're coming down to the end here on the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Final day of preseason action before the league kicks off in earnest next week at the convention. Michael Cirillo, Cameron Irvine on the call, Joshua Durr and Andrew Gibson on stats for us today. Canton in Denver territory now at the 43, trying to take the lead, I believe, for the first time in the game. Patterson has to escape off his back foot, complete underneath. to Owens, and he's only able to get 2. But just like the Canton touchdown in the third quarter there, Cam, nice improvisation by Scar Patterson as the pocket breaks down.
Yeah, I must say, I thought that was going to end in disaster. That was an important 2-yard gain for Canton there, because Scar, when he let that go, I thought, oh no, but nice find to Owens.
Only picks up 2. Denver has a lot of defenders way off the line.
Yeah, look at that. Blitz.
But they bring the house. And again, Patterson makes him pay. Owens to the 21. Nice catch in stride on a crossing route.
Canton's offensive line continues to keep Patterson upright. They have been the better unit of the two, comparing, they've honestly had the better of both lines in this game, and that could end up being the difference in this one.
I formation now. 1 yard outside the red zone for Denver. Handoff Johnson, 2-yard gain. Now they are inside the red zone.
Kilbrew with the stop. Only Strike Vader with more tackles today.
7 tackles for the rookie. Has completely redeemed himself after getting blown up on the touchdown run by Johnson in the first half. Patterson airs it out, caught by Wall inside the 5. First and goal, Canton.
Is this another go route?
Yes, it is. It's the exact same play where Jack Wall made his catch in the first half.
Yeah, there he goes. Sandwiched at the end of it, but Scar and Jack establishing a good rhythm and rapport. Patterson's numbers looking much better. He was 3 for 9. He's 7 for 7. Mike, in this second half, it's incredible.
Perfection so far for the Canton gunslinger. Johnson trying to power through. He's close to the goal line and he's just short. Second and goal.
7 for 7 in the second half, 3 for 9 in the first half. Shows you what adjustments can do, shows you what playbook variety can do. Think they're going to give it to Johnson here, but I wouldn't mind if they let Scar sling it. He's been great. Oh, fullback.
Oh, it's a fool for everybody. Toriano Rivera has a touchdown, and Canton has the lead for the first time in the game.
Welcome back, Rivera, the former Arizona Scorpion, with the touchdown, and that fooled everybody. They really hadn't shown a lot of fullback runs so far, and Ari Mills was asking about fullback runs. Well, Canton just got one on you for the touchdown, and all of a sudden, Micah, Canton has the lead in this ball game.
The first time in the game, 27-20. It was 7-0, then 7-7. Then 10-7, then 13-7, then 13-13.
Yep.
20-13, 20-20, and now for the first time, 27-20 with Canton having the lead. There has been virtually nothing to separate these two teams in this ball game. 7:32 left.
14 unanswered after Denver came out of the locker room to start the third quarter and scored a touchdown. So just when
74-yard drive, no less.
Right, just when you're thinking that the Nightwings, have things figured out and are going to calm down, they have been hit with the classics buzzsaw. Still plenty of time left.
Brothers to O'Shaughnessy, trying to bounce it outside. Stiff arms Gronick. Can he turn the corner? No. Only a 2-yard gain as Durr pushes him out of bounds. Crowd has gone a little bit quiet here.
It has.
At Richard Snowden Memorial Stadium. They've been buzzing all game as their Nightwings have been ahead, but now Denver going to play from behind. O'Shaughnessy up the middle again. 3rd down and 1. after a 6-yard pickup. Denver not panicking, not going to the air immediately, trying to gun this down and try and catch up in 30 seconds. O'Shaughnessy, third straight time. Excellent blocking up front by the pancake line. First down for Denver.
No panic in these Night Wings. Move the sticks again. And if I was Denver, I wouldn't want to give Scar Patterson the ball back. Let's take all this time off the clock, get to overtime.
Got to get a touchdown, though. Field goal won't do you any good. O'Shaughnessy gets a 4th straight carry and picks up 4 yards. We've only seen the backup running back once today. Unofficially, Bailey, 25 carries, 188 yards, and a touchdown. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets over 200. This time a throw, and Logan Keel on a quick crosser picks up 7.
He'd be the second back to do so this preseason, joining Logan Jack, but these defenses are going to have to adjust, and these teams are going to have to make do with their decisions. A lot of teams invest in their run games, not as much in their defenses, and that's what we're going to see, especially in the first month of the season.
3rd and 3. Ari Mills, first down. He was asking for some action, and there you go.
Mills out of the backfield. Nobody really covered him, although got out there late. That was King Jamal, the strong safety, that had to come over and try and corral him. Even if he would have made that tackle, Mills would have had enough for the first down. Another solid drive in this game that's only had 4 punts.
Ridiculously efficient football by both offenses in this ball game.
Best of the preseason, I'd say.
O'Shaughnessy back to work. He's got a hole. He's crunched after a gain of 9. Every time these running backs touch the ball, Cam, you kind of mentally prepare yourself for one broken tackle and a big gain. These defenses are holding strong for now. O'Shaughnessy again. This time he does break and tackle. Did he get the first down? No, he did not.
Hey, Singletary with the hustle. Now Denver may challenge. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it, especially with O'Shaughnessy running as hard as he has. But A. Singletary saves the play. That was tremendous.
3rd down and inches. Can Canton's defense make a stand here? They hand it off to Bailey.
He didn't get it.
Pushes forward. No, he didn't get there. He didn't get there. He was stopped by Kevin Brackett, the former Vancouver Legion.
Blown up again by that defensive front in the exact place they needed to. Okay, great. We'll get a review on this. I think Denver's going to lose this challenge, but I think they should probably go for it, although they haven't gotten inches. They didn't get inches on the 3rd down. Maybe they'll be concerned about getting it on 4th. Who was the player that blew this play up from Canton's defensive front? That was, Bailey may have gotten it. L.L. Volt was the guy that made this play happen. That looks like a first down to me, Cirillo, on that
that's
angle.
So close on that last angle. It's so close. It all depends on where forward progress was stopped. The only challenge of the game was won by Canton on a fumble in the first quarter, and it is a first down.
But it doesn't mean they can overturn the call, but as we saw last night, it doesn't always mean it's a first down. But I think in this situation, just judging by the coach's reactions, I think that Bailey did get it. He did. What a challenge.
Wow, both teams 1 for 1 on challenges.
And I honestly didn't think that he got it at first, but that second angle proved otherwise.
But I think the offense was on the field for 4th and inches if they had not gotten that.
Yep.
O'Shaughnessy got a chance to rest during the challenge, picks up 5. Bailey has been a workhorse today. Over 200 yards now on 31 carries. Officially 195. He's going to get the ball again. Inside run, shakes one tackle past the 20. One man to beat, and he's stopped by Joshua Durr. Here comes the up-tempo offense. They sense a point of weakness in the Canton D. It's a screen to O'Shaughnessy, to the 10 and down to the 9.
Now they're running some tempo here.
Druthers across the middle. It's Keith Wheeler first and goal. They still go up tempo.
Maybe they're trying to squeeze another possession out of this game because they know they can't run the clock out entirely.
O'Shaughnessy stopped. They'll continue to go up tempo. 2:50 left. Druthers end zone touchdown. Denver, it's Wheeler.
There comes
Play the
blimp.
jazz music. Touchdown, Nightwings.
Blimps in the house. That was a heck of a throw. I mean, that is a very difficult throw from Gene Struthers in between two defenders. We're one extra point away from a tie in the Sioux Falls Queen City game. 28-27 Queen City. Sioux Falls goes for the onside kick. Queen City nearly returns it for a touchdown. They get a touchdown a couple plays later, so it's 35-27, but Sioux Falls is going to get the ball back with 3 timeouts and 1:44 to go. We got craziness. Look at that drive. Another 15-play drive from Denver. The question is, will they have enough time to get the ball back? I think that's what they were doing there at the end of that play, weren't they, Mike? Or at the end of that drive? I think they realized we can't run this clock out. We need to have an opportunity to get the ball back.
Yeah, so getting that touchdown before the 2-minute warning was huge, because now if they can stop Canton, use their timeouts, and have a chance to win the game with a field goal, that's the goal at least. But we have seen Canton step up in a huge way in this second half. Their drives haven't been as dominating, but they have been just as effective.
Now these quarterbacks, you know, we don't know much about their leadership skills here in this new era of the SFL. Everything's going to have to be earned, and it's going to be exciting to see here down the stretch in a tie ball game if Scar Patterson or Gene Struthers can put their teams on their back.
It's going to be Robert Johnson, not the 2-minute warning yet. Canton comfortable running the ball. They do for 7 yards off the left side that time.
Yeah, they only need a field goal. I mean, they got plenty of time here, and if Canton wants to be the last team with the football, they need maybe 30 yards at this point. They can get that easy with 2 minutes and all those timeouts.
I think they will keep it on the ground here. Just let that clock run down. They don't need to snap this. They do, though. This will be the last play before the 2-minute warning, and it's a first down. Give Robert Johnson the 41-yard line.
Here we go.
2 minutos remaining in the game. On a Super Thursday of SFL action. First of 6 games as we wind down the preseason and get ready for season 21.
Crowd's getting loud now.
27 all. Johnson bounces it outside, dragging defenders with him, a 9-yard run. And Cam, it's 27 all. I would not be surprised if when the clock hits triple zeros, it is not 27 all.
Yeah, Denver has to step up here. Robert Johnson. Otherwise, Robert Johnson is just going to lead him down the field for the game winner. It's going to be interesting what Denver does to get off the field.
Johnson, oh no, that's Toriano Rivera. Fullback run. He's got a touchdown. And maybe all the carries are going to his head. He gets another nice run there.
They're bleeding him out, Mike. I mean, and this is what Denver was worried about. That's why they were hurrying to try and get the football back, because Canton I mean, Denver's going to run out of time if they just cannot get off the field.
Would you say this is a Denver-esque drive so far for Canton? And Robert Johnson again.
Oh!
He's broken a tackle and broken free. Inside the 20. Can he outrace the defender? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Canton.
Wow, and I don't know whether to celebrate him or be disappointed in him for scoring and giving Denver an opportunity with 1:06 to go. I mean, you always want to be ahead. You never want to have to rely on a kicker. But to say I'm surprised at the Robert Johnson run or touchdown run would be an understatement. I did not think he was going to break that one out. Denver looking a little bit gassed. Both running backs have put on impressive performances today. And unfortunately for Denver, they're not going to have the luxury with 1:06 left to get O'Shaughnessy much involved.
1:06 left. They do have 3 timeouts, but they are now down 7 again. The first 3 quarters of this game, it was all Denver. It was either tied or Denver has had the lead. Now twice the Night Wings have been back down 7 in the 4th. They tied it up once on a long drive. Can they do it again to potentially send this game to overtime? It all starts with this Alex Jackson return up past the 25, spins past 1, dragging a defender to the 31-yard line.
Julian Tyree, 300 passing yards for Sioux Falls on the day, but he just threw a pick. G.B. Wallace for Queen City makes the play. The Corsairs are going to come away with a victory in that one, 35-27. This one, 34-27. Oh, man, this is our first opportunity to see if anyone can lead a game-winning drive right here, Mike. Or game-tying drive in this case.
O'Shaughnessy not on the field. It's all going to be on Gene Struthers and his receivers. 4-man rush. Struthers down the middle into the breadbasket of Dylan Lewis. Complete to the 45. Timeout.
Timeout Denver. They got 2 left. I think that's Lewis's first catch.
First target as well.
Yeah, Struthers has been great in these situations. 20 for 30, 223 yards. A solid day for Gene. Just has to avoid the major mistake.
You can still go down the middle of the field. You've got 2 timeouts. O'Shaughnessy back on the field. Probably just in there to block, though, as Alex Jackson goes in motion. Struthers looking, pressure coming, and he had to get the ball out there quickly, and it was uncatchable ahead of the receiver.
And you can see, Terrell, that Denver may need to work just a little bit on their 2-minute offense. Everything so far has been to the middle of the field, and that's going to burn timeouts pretty quickly. Looking for something to the sideline.
2nd and 10, 49 seconds left. Back to the empty formation now for Denver. 3-by-1. Right to left, the receivers. Struthers rolls to the strong side. Looking down, the numbers intercepted! But there is a flag! Connor Darien may have sealed the game, but it's going to be pass interference, and the Night Wings are still left hanging by a thread.
And it's on Rockefeller. Oh, man, that is tough. I don't know about that one, Mike. That is a tough call. There was a lot of traffic in there. Maybe the officials saw something, that really wasn't prevalent. What's your thought?
I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. All I know is that Canton had the game in their hands, and now it's back in the hands of Gene Struthers. Bailey O'Shaughnessy on a carry up the middle and forces a timeout with 39 seconds left. That is an interesting call.
Trying to catch him off guard, I think, with a little run action. They did have timeouts in their pocket. 1 left, right, Mike?
1 timeout remaining for Denver. That is correct. Got to get to the end zone in the last 39 seconds. Struthers fires, tipped, and almost caught on the rebound. 3rd down and 9.
That would have been nuts. He had an opportunity for the football. 36 seconds left. 3rd down and 9.
Four down territory, of course, for Denver. This is not do or die. Struthers, middle, another flag as Lacey got a hand to it. I'll tell you what, Evan Lacey has been terrific today.
On Rockefeller again.
Not the impact you want to have as a veteran coming over to this team. Doesn't have any stats on the board in this game,
Yeah,
but
that
has
one was a
2
little...
pass interference calls, and yeah, that one was a little bit clearer.
Rockefeller has he's just got to hold off on trying to make the play, trying to be the hero, trying to win the game. Just make the stop. They only have 1 timeout. That is not going to kill you. A touchdown is, but if you're going to get a PI, you're just going to give him the catch anyway, and you're going to stop the clock.
Struthers underneath, short, incomplete. I'll tell you what, the 2 PIs have hurt Canton, but their secondary has played very well on this drive.
Yeah, and they've been hitting pretty hard all day long, despite despite Mosley and Alex Jackson's performance. Wheeler's had a nice day, but Denver taking a lot into the regular season with this offense, but they still got a shot. 29 seconds.
They got to get 29 yards in those 29 seconds. Struthers over the middle. It's caught. Jeremy Mosley. 20 seconds left. Final timeout used for Denver, and they are in striking distance.
No timeouts left. It all comes down to this at the 18-yard line. This is all you want as a coach. You want a chance to win the game right here. Mosley nearly 100 yards.
97 yards. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, what a day for him. 18 yards to pay dirt. No timeouts remaining. The lone receiver to the top side is Alex Jackson. 3 on the bottom. So they're going to go that way, and it's intercepted, and this time it will count. Kanye Rockefeller saves the game for Canton after 2 pass interference calls.
Of course he does, and all's well that ends well for Kanye Rockefeller, who jumps the route. This is what we're talking about. It is not easy leading comebacks and leading charges in this league, and all the quarterbacks are going to have to take a look at who they want to be. Gene Struthers, I mean, had a great game today, but at the end of the day, Torillo did throw 3 interceptions. That Canton secondary figured out how to get turnovers. That Canton offensive and defensive lines, especially the defensive line, was totally disruptive today. And I think that defensive line is your MVP of this one. That may be just me, but what a football game.
Wow. 34-27. Denver had a chance to win it, and Kanye Rockefeller, Redemption Nation, the interception to save the game after he had 2 pass interference calls on the final drive to allow Denver to be in that position. 234 passing yards for Gene Struthers, but as you mentioned, the 3 interceptions, 2 of them really his fault. One of them was a duck pass hit as he threw. But that was the difference in the game. And the fourth quarter, Canton scoring twice was the only difference. Every other quarter was the exact same score between the teams.
That's true. That's a great point. And, no sacks today, which that's kind of surprising. But whether it was the run or the pass, both teams averaged over 6 yards a play in this game. That's the first time I've seen that. O'Shaughnessy and Johnson, really the first true running back duel of this preseason. They were both tremendous, and they were both over 6 yards a carry. Rivera got in the end zone. That was cool to see. What a day for Mosley, too.
7 catches, 97 yards. If I had to pick a player of the game, we don't get one anymore. We got to do it ourselves. man, I think I might choose Robert Johnson. 2 touchdowns, almost 200 yards
He did
rushing.
get the game winner.
He did get the game winner. But man, I think I'm going to have to go with Evan Lacy. 3 passes defended, all 3 of them touchdown savers.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point, Mike. I'll give it to the D-line up front because I really thought they had a big impact in this game, but you're absolutely right. I mean, Robert Johnson gets the game-winning touchdown. Evan Lacy saved score after score after score. He was really terrific in the red zone. And despite Denver's 24 first downs, they played a great game, but the mistakes bit them in the end. What a win for Canton on the road. They'll take that momentum into week 1 against Jacksonville. That's going to be a fun one.
What a block of games, huh? 2 ridiculously close games here and the Sioux Falls and Queen City game. This one finishes Canton 34. Denver almost completes the comeback. They got 27. For Joshua Durr and Andrew Gibson, thank you so much for the stats. Kevin Irvine alongside me. My name is Michael Triller. Thank you so much for listening this afternoon. Thank you for showing up on an early afternoon here in the Simulation Football League. We'll see you tonight for 4 more preseason games here in the SFL presented by APM Music. Have a good afternoon.